Hello, everyone, and welcome to Essence of the Moon, but more importantly, welcome to Voices from the Liminal. Today, we have a wonderful guest. Her name is Debra Zachau, and we are going to be talking about her incredible book. For example, like, what if the reason someone drives you absolutely insane is not chemistry, but fate, or maybe not even trauma, but patterns? So when I read that book, and I actually came across her channel and her book on on Gerald from Tarot Stash. And I was like, what a phenomenal book. I was like, I have to get this book. I have to get her on the show here. And then here we are, like a couple weeks later. So thank you so much for being here and agreeing to come on with me.
Thanks for inviting me. Anytime I get to talk to new people and make new friends, I love it.
Me too. Thank you. So before we go on with the interview here and talk about your book and discuss this whole numerology that you've set up on this book, I want to say hi to a couple people that are in the chat.
Absolutely.
So we have SR Kish 4395. Hello all. Looks like a new show. Definitely. Thank you for being here. We have, oh look, we have Debra here.
I'm here.
I know. And speaking of Gerald from Tarot Stash, did you realize when I logged into StreamYard, there's a guy with a mustache and I automatically thought of Gerald today, and then here he is. Thank you, Gerald, for being here. And yes, do all the like and subscribe and all of that fun stuff. I appreciate you. We have Donna, oh, just you, me, guides, and spirit. Thank you for being here.
Q, coming over.
Yep, we have CJM126SN. Thank you so much. Look at the beautiful cat on there.
Oh, yeah, she's got a cool cat.
Yep. And then Gerald said, of course, he recommends this book, well written and informative, a lovely read, # purchase responsibly. Or not, you're an adult. Gerald, you know that I'm not a really, I have zero responsibility when it comes to that. We have Tiffany Tisdale. Thank you for being here. We have Maria Scorpio 92. Hello.
Hello.
We have Draven. Hey, Draven, how are you? We have Donna, and it is her birthday today. Happy birthday to you. And Neptune is out. That's right. I'm feeling good. Sending peace, love, and joy to you all. Thank you. You as well, Donna. I appreciate you. Happy birthday. We have, of course, Madame Maru is here. Thank you, Maru, for being here. I appreciate you. And we have Krista. Hey, Krista, thank you for being here. We have Marby Gongora 9740. Hello. Thank you for being here. We have Cindy Green. Hi, thank you for being here. And I think I am down at the bottom of the list. I'm sure everyone's going to be trickling in here shortly, but thank you all very much for being here. Okay, Debra, so your book. I know I don't have it in my hands yet, but I have already been trying to...
Coming tomorrow.
Oh, perfect. Hey, Victoria, thank you for being here. Okay, so your work centers around understanding people at a soul level. When did you first realize numerology was more than personality typing for you?
When I started using it in real life. But I was blessed, unlike most advisors, to be really, really, really busy. Mm-hmm. And I was able to do 20, 30 readings every single day using the ideas from numerology. So I read all the books and got all the basics. And then I started trying it on. So and I'd be honest with my client, I'd be saying, oh, you know what, this combination, this usually means it would reflect this. And they'll say either yes or no, and the reason why. And so then I would adopt that and put it into that number, that nuance part. And so I was able to learn all the numbers and then tweak them to real life.
Nice.
life.
So
Yeah.
then that's when those patterns started coming up for you, like realizing a 9 does this, or someone who has a master number like a 33 or anything like that. Then you start seeing different types of patterns. It's almost very
Yeah.
much like a psychological, psychology type of approach.
Yes. And I can give you a really good example. There was a woman who called and she was having a terrible fight with her husband and he had stormed out.
Hmm.
Now, husband is a 5. And I won't say her number, but that number tends to be stubborn and things have to go their way.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I didn't know that because every time someone's in crisis, they explain everything from their perspective, and it means sensibility and things. But the numbers were able to tell me something new about a 5, because the traditional things, 5s are flighty, they get
Hmm.
restless, and they don't, and then they storm out. Well, she said, no, he loves me so much. He's going to do anything for me and all that stuff, because the tarot cards were saying something different, right?
Hmm.
And I said, look at it, because she was paying me. I mean, those
Yeah.
psychic lines are expensive. And I says, out of respect for your time and money, let me advise you this. I said, he loves you so much, and you're used to having your own way. And you present it in a way, you've trained him to yield more than not. If you think back on everything, you've pretty much gotten everything your way. And I say, please don't try and win this one. Let him win this one. And she knew exactly what I was saying. And so anyway, that's
Wow.
when I found out that when a 5, so back to numerology, when a 5 commits, even though they're commitment
Hmm.
advertence, when they commit, you can't get rid of them, because like they see something in you, that they see, they have options in you, support from you, things like that. So I could go on and on about the 5, but that's the biggest number. If you read on the internet about a 5, that's what I found that's different.
Well, it kind of reminds me when looking at a 5, it's like you're looking at the tarot deck. The 5s are always the toughest ones. So I feel like there's that numerology kind of goes hand in hand with the tarot, as well as like the numerology with your book, and like the Pythagorean or Chaldean number numerology system. And I think that all goes really hand in hand. That's amazing. So,
Yeah.
and there's different ways to look at your numbers. So there's like a life path number, there's your personality, there's your soul, there's your expression. So how do you explain to someone, how do you come up with all of these numbers? Because I
Well,
went down a whole like rabbit hole after I
no,
talked to
me
you,
too.
and after I saw like your live with Gerald. I went down a whole rabbit hole with the numbers and my kids and how they get along with me and my husband. And my husband is not their biological father. It's so their dad, why it didn't go well with their dad. Like I went down a whole day's
That's
worth of like,
awesome. Did you learn? I mean, what
I
was it
did.
like?
Oh my
Did you get
gosh, it
in?
was like, yes, I did. I got major insight. It was like a mind blowing. Um and then I understood that there's different master, like you have like your master number. Like I explained to you, my oldest son is a 33.
Yes.
So he's a master number. And then as I was looking at these numbers and looking everything up, it all made sense. I'm a 9. My husband's a 9. And then Gerald here is a 9 as well.
Uh-huh.
So we're
So we've
looking
got
at
a lot
different
of
numbers like,
old soul, very old soul.
yeah, so looking at those numbers, and him and I talked about I mean, us both being 9s, but you're looking at your soul, you're looking at the expression. So I'm a 9 expression, 3 soul, and personality 6.
So I'm I went down the same rabbit hole, and it was delightful.
It
But
was.
for me personally, when I went to, because how you get those other numbers other than the life path number is through your name.
Mm-hmm.
And I cannot, when I read on the hotline, I have I can't ask for any personal information except for the birthday. Just, I say, what's your first name and birthday? Because, so I could not do those other numbers and vet them through my experience. The only thing I had was their birth date.
Okay.
So, but I would always ask them to repeat their birthday so it's on record that they're over 18. That's the only reason why I asked for their birthday. I'm not an astrologer.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
so by default, I was getting kind of bored and I thought I want to learn something new. Well, let's try this numerology, and down the rabbit hole. My experience might not be for you. My experience was that the name numerology was too far away from my personal objective with my client. It gets a bit abstract, the destiny number, all those different numbers. Because, and also I found that if I go into that, people lose interest in numerology because it gets so convoluted.
It does. And then my maiden name with my married name, of course, it's going to change that number. So but then I realized, well, my personality changed as well, because now I'm not just Selena. Now it's David and Selena. So there's,
and in human nature, we change our archetype, we change our personality with every structure. So when I'm somebody's daughter, I'm somewhere. When I'm someone's girlfriend, when I'm someone's fiance, so people can be engaged for years and then marry and then get a divorce because that archetype changes, that idea, and you can't help it. So if it's causing you problems, you need to observe it and say, oh, well, in my mind and in my soul, in my skin, I feel that if I'm married to someone, I'll just make this up, I should be able to stay at home, and you go out and kill the beast and bring it home and I'll cook it, that kind of, so that's an organic part of us, but it's not reasonable in this day and age. So that's where, and that's a topic people like you, advisors all over the world, can remember. So when you say, I just got engaged and he's acting out, well, it's because there's that, there's that. So you can address it from there. You can go into the reading and down that path into the room of knowing from that perspective. And then the numbers take over.
Wow. Yeah, it was like a whole, I felt like Alice in Wonderland, just diving in, calculating everybody's number, especially my kids, and seeing how they line up. And then I was like looking at their potentials for like future, because they're all adults now. They're all on their own. They're all doing their own stuff now. And so they're all, it just seeing what the potential is for their numbers. I mean, I don't want to like say this is what it's going to be. This is who you are. But I want to give them as well as the opportunity for them to decide how they're going to do stuff, if they're going to change, if they're going to do things or not.
Yeah, but it's always their own choice. And then you can look at it more so is that, oh, that's why he pushed back on me on that. Yeah. Now I can understand.
Yeah. And I do. I mean, looking at how they were when they were children and growing up, and I noticed the patterns now that I'm in, now that I understand the numerology and I see their numbers. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is like spot on, 1,000% spot on their numbers, on who they are and what path they're going on, or why they think the way they think and why they react the certain way. So I thought it was very eye-opening.
Yeah.
And exciting at the same time, because I felt like I learned something new, and it all was making sense.
I do want to say one more thing that's quite important. Those of you out there that want to get into numerology, and you start with the life path number and reading my book, if you don't mind, and giving me a review, shameless promotion. Then if you're doing a deep dive, let's say a personal reading, that's a deep dive for one person, I have found it valuable to get their name at birth and their name that they use now. So it could be your married name, it
Mhm.
could be whatever. And so, and then when you put it in the computer, I use AstroSeek name computer, name numerology, and so see what they were born for. That kind of takes over. And I only read the destiny part of it, is that first top line, and then how she feels she should be or he should be with their casual name. And that's been remarkable. I just want to, shout out for that type of numerology. But I just read the destiny number, the top one. And it's amazing what that can tell you. Oh, I could go on, but I won't.
That's okay. We have time. Go ahead. Whatever you want to talk about.
Well,
But
I did find, let me say one thing about the name, because I do use the name numerology during my soul awareness. And there was one woman, she was born in India, I believe. And so she is in that culture. And then her numbers with her given name when she was born was just lighthearted, lovely childhood, just beautiful. And then when she got married, she became subservient and this and that. And it could be the culture, but it was also the numbers that showed on this. And what's interesting, she married a very progressive man that was hoping that she would move into that carefree child she used to be. Anyway, that's a conversation.
wow.
It's interesting.
That is very interesting. I like that. Because your numbers can completely change once you're married. Like, again, your identity changes as well. And the partnership that you're with and their dynamic and their numbers, since you're constantly around them like that. And they're projecting different ideas or thoughts or patterns onto you as well, as vice versa, you do the same with them. Wow. That's very interesting. I love this. Yeah, definitely rabbit hole.
It's a cool one.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's very interesting. That's right, Star. It is. Because I completely dived, and it was like a whole day's worth of just looking at numbers and understanding them. Um, I thought it was completely fascinating. And just thank you so much once again for doing this book. And I feel like I'm going to learn a lot from it just when I have it in my hands and start to read it and start to understand it. So,
Oh, I'm so grateful. Thank you
yeah,
so much.
thank you. So your book also, I just by the title, I noticed it uses humor to explore relationships through life path numbers. Why the humor? Like why did you decide to make it?
Because people are sensitive when you shine the light on something that might, because I'm describing how others perceive you. And so that can, and once you get defensive, then you toss the book aside and it's all humbug. So also, I think we're too serious about things. We're serious about the moon going here and there, and we're serious about a certain time of day. So if we could just have, plus on top of that, childhood trauma experiences, different things that happen in your life, different relationships. If you hate women, you love men, or vice versa, all of that goes into the numbers as well. So it can change. The one thing I have discovered, just it won't be a surprise to anybody, is that when you throw all this out the window is when you have a client possibly who is addicted to drugs or alcohol, because then everything's kind of out the window. So you just go back to how you counsel without the numbers as much, because it won't fit.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Which makes sense because of, that makes sense. Wow. Okay, so your book, not only does it use humor, it also uses snark. And I love the word like snark, because anytime I think of snark, I think of Linda and Gerald with their shows where they're using humor and snark. But to explore relationships, I thought that was really an interesting way to do that. So I was like, this is fun to use numerology and humor to make it stand out, I feel. So
Yeah. one of the reviews I got was I was able to look at myself without feeling judged. She
Yeah.
allowed, she showed me
Yeah.
myself without, but not, I wasn't judged. So, and that's what I wanted to do. That was the best,
Yeah.
one of the best reviews.
I love that. And it's, like you mentioned, childhood trauma, different, we all have different things that trigger us. So
Mhm.
if we're reading a book and we feel like we are being judged or underneath somebody's thumb and pointed fingers like this is how you are, this is you, this is you, this is the bad part of you, then people start to kind of regress a little bit and go more inward and not really
Mhm.
take in and feel hurt. And um yeah, I like that. I like that. So you talk about joy buttons and sad triggers. Can you explain that concept?
Well, a lot of times we don't know what triggers us. And this is, I'm going to get kind of spiritual here.
Mm-hmm.
So the spiritual community wants to be in the moment and at peace and everything. And then sometimes, usually a novice will reprimand themselves if they get triggered by something when they really should stay calm and like a monk or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope that doesn't stay for long. But the thing is that when you don't know what's triggering you or what brings you this whole joy, for instance, someone does something for you and you just fall in love with the idea that they thought of you and they
Yeah.
did that for you, and then they're held, that person is held in a place of closer love, even if it's just friendship, but then that person is going to fall from grace eventually, right? And then you're sad. So you're kind of back and forth with that. If you understand what lights you up and you see that coming in, you can be grateful without attaching that to someone else where they can
Oh,
fail. It's just self-awareness and know what goes off, and also to understand when you've had enough. And so when you
yeah.
say I'm an now I'm an introvert, but I'm a confident introvert. This means that I can be on a show and in readings and all that stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but for a limited amount of time in one day,
Me
and then I
too.
have to be by myself.
Yeah.
So, but I know that, so I don't beat myself up when I have to disappoint someone.
Yeah.
See what I
I mean,
mean?
yeah, that's me as well. I can only do one show a day because mentally, emotionally, I can't handle more than that. And
Yeah.
feel like I have to pace them out. And if they're not paced out, then I get overwhelmed and overstimulated and not in a good way.
That, and I got to tell you, this is what's interesting about numbers. You're a 9 and Gerald's a 9. Gerald of Tarot Stash,
Mm-hmm.
like and subscribe. But he is able to go on all the time
Yeah.
and several times a day. So, and it's fascinating to me that he's able to do that. So he's found this to be his home,
Yeah.
right? And we
Yeah.
go here and then we sign out and go back to our home, right?
Yes. And
So we're back.
like I need that just to kind of
Mhm.
mentally unwind and reground myself because I feel like when you're on the live, you're not really as grounded as you should be. I feel like
Yeah,
because you're everywhere, you're being sent throughout everywhere, everyone's watching. It's your part of you, I feel, is being
right,
sent everywhere. So
right,
it's definitely you're astral traveling the whole time.
right.
Wow. So, what life path combinations tend to challenge each other the most romantically, aside from the first example you gave earlier?
Oh, the 33s have a struggle with relationships. They're so
Yes.
dynamic. They're so incredibly brilliant and creative and articulate.
Yeah.
And so they're here to teach. And if they're with a partner, isn't into being
Yeah.
lectured all the time, right?
Yeah, that's my son.
So if a 33 is having trouble with their relationships, you can still teach, but make sure your husband or wife is not your student, constant student. And now if your husband or wife is a 2 life path, they will yield to that. That's what,
Wow.
yeah. So they will most likely yield to that, but you run the risk of running them dry and having a really miserable life. So that's,
So do the 33s have the hardest times with relationships then?
no, everybody has a hard time with
Okay.
relationships. Every single number has its benefits and its setbacks, and it's how your perception is. Now, if you're with another
A 9.
9,
So I feel like we
so
mirror each other.
exactly. And so if you didn't love yourself and he didn't love himself,
Yeah.
imagine the conflict.
And we're
So
exactly like opposite from, so I'm a Libra in Western astrology and he's a Gemini. So we are like completely opposite from each other on there as well. So not only do we mirror each other by 9s, but we're completely opposite on the astrological chart.
wow. So you either you met together and were well formed, personality, and you knew yourself, or you married or got together and went through conflict. Which one was it?
We're both on our 3rd marriage. So we both
Okay.
know what we wanted on our 3rd time around. And we were older when we got together. So I was like 38, he was 48. So there's also a 10-year age gap.
Yeah, that can help too.
Yeah.
Actually, I really do think if the others respect it, it's all comes down to respect. And if you're with someone that all of a sudden you can't stand, then you have to figure out what part of you is set back by their behavior. And if that
Yeah.
behavior is something like something you can, go to rehab for or something, that's one thing. But if their behavior is striving for the next real estate deal, and that's how they were born to do that, and you're saying you're not home enough, right? So but if you recognize that being their gasoline that makes their life run, then you can celebrate with that.
Yeah.
Instead of, yeah.
That fascinates me. I never really, I mean, again, I've never really looked at numerology that way until yours and Gerald's live. And it was just, I think stuff was finally clicking, like personality wise,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
I like that. I like that. So what life path pairings tend to misunderstand each other, but actually have potential for growth?
Every single one can find success as long as they understand what makes the other one tick and they are okay with that. If they're not, then get out of the relationship. Quit, hanging around something that's not going to work out, hoping to sandpaper that person into shape where you're comfortable with them.
Oh,
So that's
yeah.
hard to find one. The only reason why I brought out 33s is because I had an incident on the hotline which was very, very, very extreme. And I learned a lot from her. And so I can see where that can be harder with couples. That's all. That's the only reason why I brought up the 33. I should have said all of them are good. Nothing's better than the other.
I like that. It's true. They're not. They all have their downfalls, but they also have their strengths individually.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. We have Romans here asking, are there any numerology oracle decks that you're aware of that you probably recommend or would work with?
Well, I'm creating one, but
Oh, that's exciting.
yeah, I'm hoping to do something like that. But if I got to tell you, if you know the numbers, you can create your own deck. It's
You hear
so
that,
easy.
Roman?
So what I did recently was go on go on Amazon, whoops, and
Mm-hmm.
got these little discs with numbers on them from 0 to 100. So then I would just simply take those numbers and that would be their message. The energy of that number is
Oh.
benefiting them. If you don't think it's a benefit, they're still there. You just need to understand that might come in as a lesson for you to choose differently. That's all. So instead of a card explaining it, if you just learn the number itself, it's like that would be the path into the room of knowing. It's and with that, with maybe an oracle deck or a tarot card or something like that, will bring in the whole picture.
Yeah. And I think when you are doing the tarot, you do look at the numbers on there. I mean, I look at numbers, and if I see the numbers that are um, mirroring each other, so say you get an oracle card pair with a tarot deck, and then you see the same numbers on there, you see that same pattern. To me, that's, you can use it as angel numbers or like
Yeah,
numerology, like different types of messages coming through on top of whatever it is you're reading through the oracle or the tarot deck.
right. But let me answer a little bit more. So there's the woo-woo numbers,
Hmm.
and that I read the messages of that number, and it's just doesn't match the number that I know, but it doesn't claim to. So it's called, there's a website called Sacred Scribes. It's an index. It's one of the old blogs. There's a lot of advertising on it, but it has numbers from 0 to over thousands. So you can click on that and get an angel message. And that's the one that doesn't incorporate the numbers like I would. But
Hmm.
then there's another resource you could go to. And this I highly recommend, Creative Numerology by Christine Delory. Sign up for her newsletter because you'll get guidance throughout the month. She's so generous. So she works with personal year numbers. So you already
Okay.
know your life path number, but this will be an ongoing what the month is, because she goes way deep into the
Wow.
month, the day, everything like that. And it's remarkable. I really like the way she writes. So I'd recommend that.
Yeah, because when I was looking at my own numerology, I was even looking at it, what my number is going to be like for next year. What's it going to be like in 3 years or in 2 years when I finish graduating college? What my number is going to look like then, and what is potentially going to be my path for that year. Like I
And
really went down and looked at a bunch
yeah,
of
I'm
different numbers
glad.
and different years, and I was looking ahead.
So, and that's really important, because you can pinch things from the next
Hmm.
year
Yeah.
and bring those bounties into this year. Because so for instance, I'm in a 9 personal year, which means I have to give up stuff and declutter stuff, but
Hmm.
everyone is in a 1 universal year. So it's
Yeah.
easier. My 9 year is going to be way easier for me to declutter, let's say, in a 1 universal year, because I'm really ready for the new, right? So
Yeah.
it's pretty cool.
It is very cool. I mean, I'm telling you, I went down a whole rabbit hole,
It's so
and
fun.
it was so exciting. It was something new, something different to learn, and just picking up on what those, like trying to understand, like seeing patterns with these numbers and what these numbers mean and how they go
I,
hand in hand with each other.
I can tell you hello everyone, witchy best
Witchy
friend.
best friend, yeah.
That's awesome. I
Mhm.
can give you an idea on how to learn the numbers and have it stick. So when you're reading about a number and it describes, let's say, the shadow side of a number, have your imagination be on the lookout for where in your life or day that was expressed in your day or in your life. So for
Okay.
instance, there was a situation with the number 4 that really summed up my brother, who was a 4. I knew he was a 4, but even if I didn't know he was a 4, I would say, oh, that sounds like Mike, or that sounds like somebody that's your friend when they're upset, or something like that. So then that's a little bit of information that spirit can use to remind you of that number. So you're in a reading, you're staring at a number, and you think, what the heck does this mean? If you have tethered that number to an incident or a familiar person, then you enter the reading from there. Then the number becomes yours.
Yeah, it's the same way when looking at court cards. You want to attach a court card to a person, and then that way you can understand that dynamic a little bit better, or be able to memorize it, like what each page and for the cups and all the different suits, and attach somebody to that. So that's how you learn it as well.
And another thing you can do is when I was learning, I really bring it into my day. You think you went down a rabbit hole? I live it. So I'll walk down the street, and if I hear someone on the phone being angry, I'd say, oh, that's the 5 of Wands or the 5 of Swords.
Yes.
Oh, that's number 5, and
Yeah.
so I put numbers and cards to everything around me. Does that mean that person is a 5 life path? No. It means that that's the archetype of my understanding, an archetype of the 5. And that's what we need to do differently in this world. So we have ancient books, and I love them, and I love the history, and I respect the lineage, but we're in a different time now. And so to try and put what's happening today into the idea of what's in the regular books, it's like it's hard to put what's in there into the real world. And so you tend to not pick it up then. So if you have a resource and able to move it into what's going on right now, you'll be a real success.
So we're asking for the websites that you mentioned, Debra.
Sure. I can post it here.
Okay, perfect.
And I'm going to write I think it's .org, but the owner of that her name is Joanne. So you can find it easier. And then Christy, I just got to make sure I have dyslexia. So does that say Sacred
Scribe? Yes. It's only scribe, no S at the end. Is it plural?
I'm going to check it out right now. Oh, I think it is. Oh, it's scribes with an S. And so if you do this, so Sacred Scribes, I'm going to write it again.
Okay.
And it says angel. Angel numbers. So if you can check my work on that, I'd appreciate it.
Yes.
Sacred Scribes. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And that would be good for those of you who do angel readings. If you had that up on your computer and somehow a number, if you work with the numbers and say, okay, what number do you want me to work with? And you get 1023 and you think, okay, this is all the new communication you have with your guides. We're building a library of understanding. And so then you would go to that number and then see if that angel message is good for your client. You see what I'm saying? So it's you and your guides playing with the numbers and working things that way.
I like that very much. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah. It's so valuable.
Lexi. Welcome, Lexi. Yeah, thank you very much. Most definitely. Thank you for stopping in and saying hello.
Oh, yeah, Donna. Thank you.
The boys are here.
I love that.
So if someone newly is dating, how early should numerology enter the conversation?
Or the first date. That's the first question. What's your birthday?
So that's funny because not only is it a question that I have for you, I was talking to my son about his numerology, not my 33 son, my middle son. And he is a 7. So I was talking to him about numerology and the aspects of that. And then he's seeing someone or started seeing someone and he goes, "Oh, he goes, I should probably figure out what her number is
Yes.
to
Yeah.
see if
Only
if they go hand in hand with each other and is a easier relationship."
it's more understanding. So if a
Yeah.
7, for especially for her, I mean, it would make a great conversation if they're just dating.
Mm-hmm.
Look, oh, I've been a friend told me about numerology. I got this book or something like that, and then it can work that way because a 7 doesn't know this, but really values their alone time, and they
Mm-hmm.
don't like to be in obligation.
Yep.
So if this is this new gal, of course we all get excited about meeting
Yeah.
someone wonderful, and we're waiting for the call, and if they don't hear from them, then they start getting mad and things like that. So
Yeah.
that dynamic is very important to know.
Yeah. Thank you, Miss Tarot D.
Yeah, thank you.
I love that. Yeah. So he was like, "Oh, I should figure out what her number is. Mom, how do I get her number?" So it was funny. I was sharing this information with him just to kind of give him an idea of what I was looking at, what I was reading into. And because it could even tell you the relationship with your parents. And I think you mentioned that relationship with the parent. I think you mentioned a 4, the child was a 4.
Yes,
And
right.
then the parents love to go out and do adventurous things, but she was a 4, so she had a different mindset than they did.
She will be less resistant to change
Yeah.
as a little girl. But one of the things I told the family, I said she will have really good reasons why she does something. It'll be an
Mhm.
awful something, but she'll have all good reasons for it, and it's important for you to hear that. So
Yeah.
makes it easier. Hi, Linda de Gonzalez.
Hi,
I'm going to be
Linda.
on. We're going to be on one time,
Her and
sometime
I
soon.
and Gerald, the 3 of us, are going to do some snarky readings in a couple weeks. Yeah. Yeah, so we're going to be doing that, which I'm excited to get
I love
together
that.
with. I mean, I've been on with Gerald. I've not been on with Linda, but I've been on with Gerald for like a casual,
Yeah,
which has
what you
been
see is
fun.
what you get with both of them. They're
Yeah,
just
I
wonderful.
know. I love them both. I
There's no
love them
put on.
both. So so you teach that understanding who you are at a soul level helps manifest wealth, love, fulfillment, contentment. How does self-awareness accelerate manifestation?
Because you clear out the clutter, you clear out the noise of what you want. See, at any one time during a day, you're either moving towards your goals or away from them. And if you're
Hmm.
constantly bothered by someone's behavior, and that just keeps you in one spot. So once you understand yourself enough to say, oh, and it's all it is bringing awareness to the thing. It's not like you're broken because you obsessed with this boy down the block, right? But recognizing that with a grounded way makes you still walk forward with what your objectives are, and you can manifest really fast once you understand that part of it.
Yeah, here we have strawberry rhubarb tarot, right? Did I read that? Rhubarb?
Yeah,
Yes. She said she just figured out what her mom's an 11, and that makes sense.
yeah, and she's a 5.
Okay.
Strawberry
So
is a
learning
5.
to understand why they do certain things, I think make relationships a lot better.
Easier because you can celebrate people for
Yeah.
what instead of saying, oh, I wish they didn't do that, but then you see someone, your partner, living out their blueprint. You can applaud them,
Hmm.
and be supportive.
Yeah. So Jilly's saying she's a 6, and then her son's reduces to 7, and then her husband is an 8.
Oh wow. That's 6,
Yeah.
7. That's wonderful. So let me confuse you one more time. And And so the life path number rules, but you can see, let's say your son, I don't know how old he um, you're struggling with your son. You understand that he's got to master the 6 first, more importantly, and the traits of the 1 before he can move into the full potential of a 7.
So I
So
did
that,
see that as well, how it, when I was going down that numerology, hole, I
uh-huh.
noticed those numbers beforehand, and it was also telling me the same thing, that it went exactly what you just said, that you have to be able to master those numbers in order to get to your full potential, which I think goes with your manifestation. Your full potential and your manifestation all go hand in hand as well. So once you're able to master those numbers, I think you are able to essentially manifest or
Yeah.
fulfill your life the way you want it to fulfill.
It's been my experience that by the time we get into our 50s, I mean,
Yeah,
pretty much mastered it, or else you're in jail or
true.
conflicted or impoverished somewhere. Um, when I'm writing, I want to write my a sequel, which is for parenting. And I'm thinking about putting it into where, instead of saying life path 6, like for
Hmm.
that, and put the 15, so start introducing the 15 6, because as a child you can so like a 15 6, they need to lighten up. The 5 says lighten up, the 6 means we've got to anchor in and do everything by the book and be
Hmm.
perfection. but so that means that your child, as they're growing up, when they're little, they have to learn how to lose, and do that enough of the time. Not that you set them up for that, but to you can shepherd them through that anxiety to move into the full potential of that 6. Does that make sense? I think I'm
It
going to write
does.
that way.
So Krista said, "Does someone bring me into college when I'm clearly in kindergarten?" So it's if you get the book, Krista, or start diving into numerology, like even start Googling numerology, and you start to understand these numbers, then it all really does make sense, and you'll be elevated into your college levels. I promise.
So there's also AstroSeek, is an amazing website. It's free. It does have ads on it, but you can scroll all the way to the bottom, and there's a list of all that you can learn. And so go to the Life Path Numerology Calculator and start there,
Mm-hmm.
just for fun. Oh, but there is a glitch on that. Make sure, so you reduce the numbers as you add them up, you reduce them and
Mm-hmm.
everything. For some reason, they reduce the master numbers sometimes. So if you see your life path number is a 6, but the 2 numbers prior to that they reduce is a 33, you stop at 33, you're a master number. So that's the only glitch I've seen on that. So just be aware of that.
Yeah, so Maru has you take your birth date, add up all the digits. Then, if your results have 2 digits with most due, then you add them again until you get a single number.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then you don't reduce it. You don't add them together if it's
like
11,
an.
20,
Mm-hmm. So,
all
can
the
you
double.
explain those master numbers then? Because I know people are probably wondering what's a master number in the chat.
So it's not a life with the master number isn't easier by far, only because like the 11 and 33.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's you the 6 is the root of, I'm going to pick on 33s. The 6 is the root of 33. So let's say a 6, they're both the same, but with the same traits and everything. But the 6 is for community, love, art, balance, justice, equality, and all that stuff, with family, with self, with friends, with maybe neighborhood, community.
Mm-hmm.
For a 33, they have those same things, only on a more bigger way. In other words, kind of a global way. And so there's that. And so if it was a 33, she would do the same things. I met a 33 that would started doing things for the community, yes, but for every community in her state, right, or
Wow.
in her city. And so it grew and went into all the schools and things like that. Whereas
Wow.
a 6 would be in his happy place by serving their kids' school. The 33 has that pressure. So if they both were in your kid's school, the 33 would say, I've got to do more.
Yeah.
And it's like this feeling of under the gun that you have to do something big and more. And if that gets in the way, then it kind of slows you down.
Yeah. So
Uh,
Ms. Tarot D was also saying the Tarot School is a good tool. So tarotschool.com birth cards.
hmm,
So yeah,
I've
so
never.
just Google numerology, guys, and then it'll help you come up with what your number is. And then once you dive into your number, then you're going to start looking at everybody else's number in your family and in their dynamics and how they go hand in hand with each other. You're going to go down this really long, deep rabbit hole. I promise you guys. But don't come after us if you do, and you lose a whole day's worth looking at numbers.
Yeah, but
like
I
like
got
Gerald's
to
gonna say, dive deep responsibly.
right, exactly. You know, what made a huge difference with me with healing is that everyone has mommy daddy issues somewhere, right?
Yeah.
And boy, did I have them. And those feelings would be intrusive sometimes. And so until I did their numbers, and I went, oh, everything made sense. So I've lightened up on their spirit. It's like instead
Yes.
of thinking of daddy and having, these icky thoughts,
Hmm.
I can say, oh, amazing, amazing. So,
Because you also did the numerology for the Royals recently. I saw a
oh,
live you were
yes.
doing with the Royals, and I was like, oh my gosh, this completely makes sense about the British Royals.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the 3 top people in the British Royals,
Yes.
which would be Princess Anne, King
Hmm.
Charles, and uh, Prince William. They're
Hmm.
both 2911s. So when they can be idealistic, of course, and they were raised in the monarchy, which is fine, but they're emotional. It's like they really move things through the heart. And for them to be leading the monarchy at this
Hmm.
time is really, really positive.
Yeah, and then you talked about Meghan Markle with her number, and then Princess Diana. I mean, that's a phenomenal live, guys. I think it was live, wasn't it, that you did?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I was supposed to be on with Linda G, and I got mixed up and I blew it. So I just went on and did it on my own. But it
Okay.
was, yeah.
Yeah, that was a
I
great
think
live to
you'll know.
understand.
Yeah, you'll know the thumbnail because there's one of those soldiers on it.
So, do you just, since you did it for the Royals, do you do it for other people, like other celebrities, and
Yeah.
figure out what they are doing in their life with their life path number?
Yeah, what you'll do, what I was doing, and I was thinking you'll do it because you'll love it.
Yeah.
You'll be thinking in your mind, and Einstein will come in, and you think, oh, I bet his number is, and then because you're practicing all the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you go ahead and find the birth date and know that you were right. I was I was with a friend. We were in a nursery and we were buying plants, and I went first and paid. And then she went next, but asked for a senior discount. And I said, oh, yeah, senior discount. And the lady said, this young lady said, oh, I should have asked you. I'm so sorry. Oh, and she was muttering and yeah, here, let me give it to you. And oh, I feel bad that I didn't give you the discount. And I said, you are a life path 2911. What's your birthday?
Oh,
And you
that's awesome.
2911, and it was correct. So you'll get better and you'll start doing numerology that way. So like when I did Zelensky, when he was in the news, he's a 33. Novaldi, Alexis Novaldi, he's a 33. So it really does match. If it doesn't match, Meghan Markle. When it doesn't match, I really study it to see why it's
Why?
that way. And she has, I believe, changed her birthday. It's a big scuttlebutt. because in Hollywood you
Oh.
have to be younger. So she started her career young with the wrong birth date. But they've settled down to 1975 because 1981 didn't work. I mean, in
Mhm.
the numbers it didn't work. But so then I did 1975, and oh, does that match? Oh my God,
Wow.
it matches so incredible. So we've got. Do you want me to tell you that? Oh my
Yes,
God,
yes, please.
this
I want
is
to hear it.
so okay. This is
Because
dishing.
that was a phenomenal live, guys. I mean, seriously, you guys have to go back and look at her royals and looking at the numbers and understanding their dynamics.
Just with those three, Harry and Meghan and Diana, just with those three. So when Diana is a 7,
Hmm.
so they are very sensitive and they can be narcissistic. Some of that was narcissism I saw. I'm sorry, people who love
Yeah.
Diana, but she did such great work. I mean, she really took on being a working royal, right?
Hmm.
And doing good work, raised her kids really well. And then Meghan with 1975 is a 7
And
life
it
path.
explains why
That
Harry would want
means
to get
that
someone
the
like his mom.
baby, he's a mommy's boy.
Hmm.
It gets deeper. You want to go deeper?
Yes, let's do
He
it.
is a 1. How does that go? He was a 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, so he's a 37 1. The 7 is his issue. And he has 2 major women in his life with life path 7.
Sevens.
So if he's a 1, he is not leading at all.
And you know he's
He's
not.
he's
Yeah.
he's subservient, and so until he can master that
That's
7
7.
and move up. So anyway, I thought that was fascinating. And you know, when you're alone in your house, I love my solitude. It's like, and you
Me
discover
too.
something like that. It's like, oh my God, I got to tell the world.
You
This
did. And I
makes so
love
much
that you
sense.
brought that on because I was like, oh, this is interesting. And I'm listening. And I think it was a replay that I caught. And I'm listening and I'm like, wow. It was almost like listening to like a drama series. You
Yes.
know, it's like it was like looking at like the Star magazine, but like
Yes.
in a
Yeah.
fun way because I thought it was really fun and interesting how you put the numbers, like how you calculated their numbers and
Mhm.
you talked about their personalities that way.
Yeah, it was remarkable.
Yeah.
And I did ask the people if they wanted more royal stuff, gossip and stuff like that. And
Hmm.
one person said yes. So I thought, okay, I might do
Yeah,
that.
definitely. I think that's because, and then you start calculating what their personal number will be for next year, where they're, then you start in a way almost predicting what
Yeah,
they're
you
going to
can.
do.
If you can see, and that's the cool part about them being public,
Hmm.
that they're able to see like the royal threesome, the big ones up top, they are hard to read because they're so stoic.
Yeah.
Yeah, Harry is on a short leash.
Short leash.
I think that when Diana died, he was. See,
Yeah.
what happened was on that night, he and William were playing a video game, and his mom called, and they went to the phone to talk to mom, but it was really short. They wanted to get back to their game, and so
Oh.
that was the night they died. So William said, her death will not define me. And he worked the problem that way. And so his counsel with his little brother was cold, mostly cold, right? And so that's where he felt so
Wow.
alone. I think that's where the break came. Yeah. So not doing
Wow.
what he should do for his mother. And so you can see the dynamic with him and Meghan. It's I feel really bad for him.
Me
I feel
too.
really bad for him.
And what about their children? Did you look at their children's dates?
Of course. I have it written right here. Let me see.
Because I'm wondering what their child dynamic is going to be like with their parents, with the 7 and with the 1.
Let's see, where is it? I've got it here somewhere. With the 7 and the they're breaking up. Did you know that?
Are they
So
really?
yeah, they've already gotten. Now, what's interesting is that the crown has a custodial hold
With the child when they're in school,
with
right?
royal blood. So any child of the monarchy that's in it, no matter where in the world, they wherever they're at and whatever they're doing, they have to report to that
Right, because you did mention
institution.
that in your live, like say
Yeah,
they're the child weren't they weren't going to school. So school
take them out of school.
has to contact the royals
Yeah,
to let them know that the child hasn't been coming to school.
yeah, but then that
And if
means
he
if
doesn't have a job or a
that's
house, then
right.
he
Oh, did I
can't.
say that then
You
too? Oh,
did,
I
yeah, you
know.
did say that.
And he knows that he needs to find his own home to do that. So the kids. So Prince George, which would be next in line after Daddy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know.
I didn't
You do
either.
not see that marriage lesson. You did not see that marriage. I saw that right away that it
Yeah.
wasn't. So Prince George is a 17-8, and Princess Charlotte is a 15-6. Perfect numbers for their
For
chase in life. So then Prince Louis is a 20/2. Now let me tell you, isn't he the one that is having trouble with? It's the third child. Anyway, he's the only 2 in the bunch. And
wow.
so Archie is a 23/5, and a little bit is a 15/6. So again, 15/6, just like Princess Charlotte, the kids. So what happens? The reason the Crown got really involved with Meghan's stuff is that she was using the children for her brand.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so Lilibet has made my heart sing. You know, Lilibet was so upset because she got a line wrong in the video, and her mom was upset with her, and so she was crying. But the 6 is such a perfectionist, that's going to really hurt. That if you leave them saying, "Oh, that's okay," you can do it, but that didn't happen. And what she said was, "I want to be with Archie." Whenever there is a video camera that comes in, Archie goes up to his bedroom. He doesn't want anything to do with it. And so
Wow.
they're very. I'm hoping they get close. You know.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, but we all have our problems. You know.
We do. Yeah.
Oh my gosh! I just forgot I did this on a whim. I wrote Queen Elizabeth was a 7 as well. I forgot that part.
No
So,
way.
mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
the dynamic between her being a 7 and Diana being a 7.
They would, because when you have your own number person with you, there's some innate understanding and respect
Okay.
for certain things, and it's unspoken. It's just one of those things. I kind of like you, right? And
Mm-hmm.
she got her way. Elizabeth got her way with Diana, and everyone got what they needed. They
Yeah.
got their babies, the grandkids and stuff, but it just when you move into the full potential of your number, sometimes you can't stay inside the world you chose.
Wow. That's tough. Wow. So for someone watching who feels called to serve in metaphysics professionally, what advice would you give them, especially when it comes to numerology? Maybe look at their own number and see
Yeah, how
if
you
that's the
process.
job.
See, that's the thing. When you know yourself, you know how you process information. So when you know how you process information, then you understand how another person does. You'll be able to confidently serve them well. And so that's what I would suggest. I think numerology is it's just helped me so much in my life. I got to tell you, understand myself and let myself off the hook. Oh my God. And the negative self-talk that has gone now. And I just grew into myself, and I'm even tearing up because it really has made my life much better to understand who I am and how I tend to do things. So when I counsel someone, I really respect the struggles I assume they have the same stinking thinking I do. And so you add that on top of that judgment, on top of whatever crisis they're in. You need to
Mm-hmm.
be very understanding and give them room, and not have any kind of judgments in your mind. You have to be discerning. But this judgment,
Yeah.
if a client of yours has done something that's appalling to you, they would be better served by someone else. There's no shame in that.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't hold that, then just say, I'm sorry, I can't help you in that. But you'd be better served by someone else, or you recommend somebody else that
Yeah.
wouldn't be triggered by that. And that's okay. You don't
Yeah. Or
have to
say
go
you
into
are opening,
counseling.
yeah. Or say you're opening up your own brick and mortar shop and then you start hiring people. You want to see what their numbers are and their dynamics will be with working with you and you with them, and how they are
Yeah,
with the public and so forth. I think
right,
you want to be able to understand that and see that and maybe help guide them to being their best potential in that number
right,
if you
exactly.
understand it.
And then if they're doing the if you can, oh my gosh, in the first date, in the first interview, you will
Mm-hmm.
be able to see right away whether they've grown into their full potential, because there will be a little hard, hard hook in there if you're aware of it. And so then you're able to think, am I seeing that? Am I reading that right? And so you go ahead and address something around that and see if they push back. And then, without anybody being wrong, that that is not a very good hire.
So now I'm
Or, and
gonna.
it could be a guy that you like what he's saying and everything, but that's his glitch.
Mm-hmm.
And so you'll go out for a beer with him, but you're not going to sleep with him. Right. So
Yeah,
order the lobster in the
it is
first date. If that starts coming up, order the lobster. At least you get lobster dinner out of it.
true. At least get a good dinner out of it. I was
Yeah.
just thinking, I haven't done my in-laws what their birth dates are to see the dynamics as well with my husband and myself because we're both nines. So
Mhm.
that's interesting that I didn't even bother to look at their number, but now that I was thinking about Queen Elizabeth and her being a 7, I was like, oh, I didn't do my in-laws. I only did my kids and myself and my husband and my
Yeah.
ex-husband, and why that was like a
Yeah.
horrible
Bit.
why we didn't understand each other.
Yeah. You've gotten bit. Because, and I did like Orville Wright. I was listening to the History Channel, and I thought, I wonder what, because they were quite
Oh,
a team, and
nice.
I have that in the
Yeah.
book. And they were quite a team, and I thought they must be a blank and blank. And I looked it up, and they were the opposite. And I thought,
Oh,
whoa, it spoke volumes of the respect they had for each other. And also, I respect like their parenting, the parenting they got, because my parents never said, hey, that's your sister, knock it off. We don't do that in our family. Never once did they. And they encourage bullying, that type of thing. So in that family, I'm going to assume that their parents supported a nurturing, insightful childhood for them, to make them go all that way, bringing an airplane
wow.
into the world, right? It's just,
Yeah, I'm
just
one of 9 kids, so the dynamic. Yeah, I'm number 7 of 9 kids.
And what's your mother and father's birthday or pal numbers?
I didn't even look at their numbers. I didn't even calculate theirs. I haven't even gone that far yet. I only did myself, my kids, and my husband and my ex-husband. But I'm I am going to go through all of their numbers and kind of see how they matched up to their numbers back then when I was younger, and then now as adults,
Mm-hmm.
how they've grown into that number or mastered it per se.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
It is. Yeah, I definitely got bitten by the number
the number
the number
the number
bug.
bug.
I definitely got it. I definitely got it. So Heather's saying she's a life path 8, not sure what the second number is.
Oh,
So what
what
was,
made the 8?
yeah. So what
So
made the 8, Heather? Like, was it a 17 or a 26? What was
so if you
reduced before that?
I put her on the spot.
And
So the
then,
8, go, and
yeah, Richleen says she's a 6.
okay. So 6 is, I bet you're tidy. I bet you're organized and cozy and create beautiful spaces for people. I bet
Yeah,
you
your
that's
green aura. She has a
what?
beautiful green aura, Miss
Oh,
Hero
I have a
G.
green screen,
There's a
and
green
my
screen. Yeah.
my lighting in my room is not the best right now for some reason. It changes during the day, and so I'll disappear and come back sometimes. So sorry.
Yeah. Heather said she had you on her previous channel. So Indigo Jaguar was her name before.
Oh yeah.
So now she's
Hi.
by
Hi.
Brushbone and Indigo Ash.
Oh, by okay. Good, good. Oh,
Yeah.
hello. How are
Yeah.
you, dear? It's good to see you.
Hmm.
Yes, I think I was one of my first shows.
Really? She was one of
Yeah,
my first shows. She invited me to come on and do readings with her
that's so
too.
sweet. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's so generous.
So
Okay.
December 6th, 1970. So 3 plus 9.
Yeah, I always have to have a calculator when
So
I'm
you're
on the show.
a one,
Did you do
two,
it?
three,
3, 6, 1,
9.
9, 7,
Yeah.
26, 8. Huh. So, so an 8, so the 6, when not in alignment, when you're struggling with this, is that perfectionism. So you would rather have, instead of just going and making a video and slap it up there, it's like you have a hard time doing it. You try to do that, but you have a hard time doing it. So what you make is quality, or you try to work it out to be quality, but that perfectionism. But you have the two where you long to be with people, understand relationships, and being able to counsel well. So that's really cool. It's just that if you're having trouble manifesting, and 8s are kind of, you can manifest mad fast, but you have to know specifically what you want, because you will, if you don't know what you want, you're going to manifest that, not knowing what you want over and over again, day after day. So that's the tricky part to an 8.
Wow. I like that.
She says, "Oh, spot on."
Yeah.
I'm going peer certificate next month, and I'm going to be helping people using art. That's
Hmm.
awesome. That's perfect. Perfect, perfect.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing, beautiful thing about an 8, is that they won't subject others. For the most part, they won't subject others to their idea of perfection, especially if she's an artist.
Hmm.
And they'll just be happy with, celebrate whatever
Yeah.
comes up. Hi, James.
Yeah. Hi, James.
Thank you for
I love
coming
that.
over.
Hmm. And then we have Star, the Wild Witch. How does this work? Do you just add numbers up? So yes, Star.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like you just saw Heather do, you do your birth date with the whole like 1980, 1990, whatever year you were born, and then add those up one by one. And then that's how you get your number. Before it reduces down to the final number, whatever those two numbers are before, it kind of helps like what it is you have to master in order to be fully into your full self with your final number, your final reduced number.
Yeah.
So what's your
Um,
birth date, Star, if you don't mind putting that in the chat? Oh, here she goes. So she's May 23rd, 1990.
You were 2911. God bless you. So you're a
Oh,
master number 11. And pretty darn old soul that is pretty hard on themselves. And so
she
there's,
is.
so I'm a 2911. So sister of stinking thinking. I understand. So research that. I understand that, like, for instance, the two numbers, this is like advanced numerology. It's not really
Mm-hmm.
advanced, but the 2911 is more emotional than the 3811. And so the 3811 has a better chance to move into, like, whatever their thing is. They want to be famous, they want to be
Mm-hmm.
rich, whatever that is, they can move into that sooner than later. And it's harder for a 2911 to move into that prosperity because the emotions get in the way. But when you understand that, you stop doing business like a girl. You start doing business like a guy and quit tipping so much or something. I don't know what it is, but it's just an example. So if you went to astroseek.com and went all the way to the bottom to the life path numerology calculator and put your birthday in there, there'll be two outputs. The one output, the top one, is what I use. It's the simple method. It's one number after number. Just add
Mm-hmm.
one number after the other, and that's it. The other one is the legacy way of doing it, the old way of doing it, where they combine and it takes the fun out of adding your number. It's really a hard way to calculate. But the reason I do the top one, the simple one, is because I was missing master numbers. Only one time have I have done the numbers in my simple way, the top one, that it came out to be a 2, but it was really an 11. So the old way of doing it, it came out to be 11. And the old way will make all the numbers, the numbers that add up to your number,
Mm-hmm.
differently. The life lessons will be different, that type of thing. But the top one is what I use. So if you wanted to do it that way. I have a lot of 31-4 people in my life.
Yeah, so we have Maru is an 8.
It's 35-8. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
So you may find yourself being a little more risky taking. You're a kind of 8s are they enjoy risk better than the other. They're more comfortable with risk, and that's why a lot of times they're very, very rich. So and you would have that ability to quickly spot a sale or something like that, and you're very, very creative as well. So here it is, the 8, right, which is this anchoring. It's salt of the earth,
Mm-hmm.
pentacles, heavy, and the combination that life lessons you need to learn is the spontaneousness, the creativeness, the jumping up and down for no reason kind of thing. So mastering those lessons would make you so happy.
I like that. So we have Star saying here that she rips herself apart. I'm seriously going to look into this more now. So I highly recommend picking up her book. It is available on Amazon. Definitely look into it, and it'll help you understand your number as well as your partner's number, and how you can understand like what makes each other tick, and be able to move past it and have a more successful relationship.
Yeah.
And not
just
just
have
yours, but your parents,
Yeah.
the people around you in your inner circle. You can see the dynamics there and how they play out.
Yeah, it helps you understand that you might have misremembered something about something that's held you back.
Mm-hmm.
it's just life is hard on its own. If you can get as many answers as you can, that'd be great.
Yeah.
So that's a 9, 7,
Yep. So Miss Tarot D is a 9.
very
James
mystical.
is a 1.
1. So that your independence, you are comfortable with being alone. You can be with a partner or not be with a partner, and creative, spontaneous. I often say in a boardroom, which usually a 1 needs some room for their creativity in a boardroom and in corporate. But if there was a 1 subordinate, not the boss, subordinate, he or she would be the one that has all these ideas, all these, and speak up and have all, and would most likely be ignored by the big boss, right? But if they were the big boss, man, the people under them, he'd take in all their ideas and entertain the thought of this. If you anger a 1, they get mad, and they're the first ones, just like what, like the 5 of Wands, when it comes up in a dispute of some sort, they're the ones that will hit the wall or hit you or slam the door, their action.
My
right?
other son's a 1.
Yeah, there's no.
So exactly what you're saying. It's like I'm picturing my son Tyler. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like there's no room between anger and action. And so it's a learned behavior, or you tailor your life so everybody's safe. It's like that. But they are the ones that can kind of get over it faster too, get on with it. So that's good. That's really cool.
Yeah, that's my Tyler. He's very creative and has a lot of leadership qualities in him as well.
I think I can star this. Somebody just bought my book.
Yay, Jilly did. Speaking of your book, did you want to do your giveaway?
We don't have a giveaway tool, though.
Oh.
I don't know how to do that. You can try it on your phone. I'll start giving away. I did get an order in, thank goodness. It takes forever to get author copies in. And so I'll be giving them away randomly on my shows. So stay tuned.
So if they do #book, I can see it on my phone. So we can probably, I'll hold it up on my phone, and then we can just do a draw. And
so #book. I'll give away a couple of books today. And the only caveat is that I can't mail anything outside of the United States because I can't afford it.
Yeah. So everybody put #book in the chat here, and she could be entered in. Oh, we already got 3 entries. I can see them. Here we go. Everybody's doing it.
Good.
Yeah, we'll give it a couple minutes.
Yeah, a request also. I didn't know this before I started self-publishing, that reviews are so important. Here I am going on shows saying, buy my book. And I hate that part, but I have to. If you buy the book, if you read your chapter and you say, hey, that's pretty good, would you mind just giving a review? You don't have to read cover to cover. In fact, this book is not a cover to cover kind of book. It's like a reference. You read the first part, get the lay of the land, and then you go into your discovery. So I'd appreciate a review.
So when I do book reviews, because I have Llewellyn and Wiser Books and other companies who send me books for review, I do a written review, I do a video review, and then I go onto the website on like Amazon, and I'll do a review there as well.
Oh my gosh. I can't wait.
Because reviews are very important. Yeah, reviews are very important.
I have 26 reviews. And it still hasn't motivated Amazon to suggest my book. It has to catch the wind, and it's all about reviews. So I'd really appreciate it. If video review would be great, because that's right at the top.
I will definitely do a video review once I get it. I will definitely do a video review, and then I'll go in and do all the other written reviews as well for you. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. So we have 10 entries. We'll give you guys another minute or so before we start pulling.
We've got a pretty full room too.
Yeah, we do. And I know Timmy was in here. He won one of your books not too long ago.
Thank you.
Yeah, so Timmy got a book from you. I remember he won it on Gerald's channel.
Yeah. How do you like it? Is he here? I don't know if he's here.
I don't know if he's still here. I know he was messaging earlier and saying hi to everybody. Strawberry Rhubarb Tarot said she bought your book in January.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yay.
Okay, guys. So we're gonna do. How many drawings did you? How many did you want to do?
How about 3 books?
3 books. Okay. So the first one, let's draw. Here we go. Shirley Mills, congratulations. And then Hinda just added another one. Denise Fletcher, if you want to add hashtag book to potentially win a book on our little spinny wheel thing here. Yeah, I don't have sound effects, Miss Tarot D, so sorry.
So what you need to do, Shirley, is, or anybody who wins, is go just a simple little at Yahoo. At yahoo.com and write winner or I won or yay or something in the subject line, and I'll get that. And with your, someone did that and they didn't give me their mailing address.
Oh, whoopsies.
So, but I got it to her.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Denise, did you want to be entered into a drawing for the book? If you do hashtag book, Denise.
Is that Denise Fletcher?
It is Denise Fletcher.
Oh, hi, Denise Fletcher. I didn't see you come in. Oh, there you are. Hello.
Yep.
Good to see you, sweetheart.
Yes, you need to enter hashtag book. Yes.
With no space.
No re-enter. You don't have to re-enter it, just the one time. Okay, we have another entrance here. So we have 12 entries. Denise. Oh, so she took your course firsthand.
Awesome.
Oh, thank you, Denise. Okay, so the second winner. Let's draw again.
Salama.
Hello, well, congratulations.
Wonderful.
And we got another person that entered hashtag book. Okay, and how many more did you want to do?
Just one more.
One more? Okay. One more, guys. Yay, Heather. Congratulations, Heather.
Awesome.
That's funny, Miss Tarot D, because I was just telling her how bad the spinning wheel is for me. I never win anything on the spinning wheel.
If you never do, why don't I give you a book, Miss T?
Miss Tarot D?
So,
yeah.
Miss Tarot D, sorry. Email me your address and you just won. So we'll just do that.
Congrats, Madrina. The wheel is rigged.
No, it is not. It is not.
Ms. Tarot D, make sure you email Debra here for your book. Let me put up your email address again. Oh, Ms. Tarot D already shared your email address.
If you're able to do it like now, I'd appreciate it, because I'm going to I can go to the post office this afternoon and you'll get it this week.
Yeah.
So,
congratulations, everyone.
Yay. Thank you, everyone.
No, you're not being kidded, Miss Tarot D.
Oh,
yeah.
Boom. Now it'll change the river. You'll start winning every time.
I know. So that way you can see your number and then see how your partner, Hector, how his number lines up with yours. And then you can go from there. So yeah, figure out each other's numbers.
Oh, I see. Strawberry says, is there someone here that's outside the U.S.? Is Salama are you outside the U.S., sweetheart? I'm so sorry. It will be $35 or $40 just to mail it to you.
It is expensive. Yeah.
Gold. Monday is say red.
Rigged.
You're so funny.
I always say that on
Monday.
Bobby's channel when I'm, for his live readings. I always put
Oh,
in the little hashtag and I never ever get picked. It's so rare that myself, Miss Tara D, and then Bridget is another person also. So,
oh,
oh, I'm so sorry, Salama.
I am sorry.
Yeah. Discussion groups.
Discussion group. Jeez.
Oh, goodness.
Oh,
Oh,
this has been fun.
if anybody has any additional questions for Deborah, please go ahead and put those in the chat before we finish up our live here. I just want to say a huge thank you, Deborah, for coming on here and helping, I think everybody in the chat understand the numbers and how to obtain their number and how to look at it in a different way and be able to work with it. Even the previous two numbers before they're broken down. I think when once you understand all of that, you are able to be more successful. You'll be able to um, manifest in a more quicker way. I feel in a more positive way.
Just a calmer life and you'll understand things so much easier, and you won't worry about stuff that isn't necessary. And it's not like you have to work at it once you understand it. It's just
Yeah.
observing it.
And like just recognizing your motivation, recognizing your communication style, your emotional needs, and maybe even your own emotional needs with your partners or your parents. And it's definitely a whole different language that um I think the psychological part of that is fascinating.
Yeah, it
You
really
know,
is.
it's very fascinating for me.
It will make any advisor that wants to incorporate just the life path. You will be a better advisor. Your accuracy will go up like amazing. Because you have a finite amount of time, not so much money, but with a client, and you just want to have the right combination of words to serve them well. And to me, I was able to do that with numerology. I want to share it with everybody.
Yeah, because even the awareness of the numerology, you're able to begin transforming yourself and who you are meant to be. Like it helps you elevate your own inner knowing. And once you understand that, I think the sky's the limit for you.
Yeah,
As cheesy as that
absolutely.
sounds, I feel like it helps you
Yes.
understand your trajectory and why you are going at this pace and why you are wanting to go from A to B to C and then all the way to Z before
Yeah,
you pass away. It's understanding all of those dynamics, and I just think it's so fascinating for me.
it is
Yeah.
wonderful.
So Denise says, Deborah, I can vouch for that because after I took your numerology course online, I started implementing it in my everyday life and my readings, and it makes things clearer. And you're a phenomenal reader, Denise.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
Thank you for that testimonial. I
Mm-hmm.
appreciate it. That's really nice.
Thank you, Lexi.
Thank you so much.
Yep. Thank you, Krista. Miss Taro D.
Oh, good. Awesome.
Oh, yeah. Hinda, thank you, Hinda. It's very interesting, isn't it? I'm telling you, after I saw her live chat with Gerald, I went down this whole huge rabbit hole with numbers. But to me, it's extremely fascinating. So, Strawberry Rhubarb has advice for parenting two adult daughters who are both not or threes.
Well, and you're a 5, so that the communication is pretty good at most of the time, and creativity is respected. Um, but once they're adults, you just have to trust you did well, and I think you really did well. You being a 5 can you were able to consider them in an instant. For instance, in other words, uncouple from what you were doing and say, well, let's do it this way or that way. That kind of being flexible, I guess that's one word, flexible at times.
I love that.
Awesome.
Roman, is it your birthday today too? How am I just now finding this out?
March 1st, what year?
What's your year, Roman?
Bye, madam. Easier relate to your granddaughter than I.
Roman.
Yeah, that would work. No, just joking. One of you. I love that.
Yeah.
You're so
I'm going to
silly.
throw a chancla at you. Oh
That's
my
right.
goodness. Yeah, having an easier time relating to my granddaughter.
Well, it's because you're more settled yourself. Were you a kid when
Mm-hmm.
you had kids? You know, I mean, and it's tough
Both
raising.
11s.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
tough.
yeah. Yeah, because they're really aliens. They're like from off planet. God bless them.
Yeah. Oh
Very
my
fun.
goodness. Oh, thank you, Strawberry Rhubarb. She is an incredible woman.
Oh,
What's
so
my
sweet.
number? I'm a 9.
What's your credit card number? You know
Oh,
what I did? Oh my God, I added up my social security number
stop it. I was
and
thinking that too. I would, because when I would, and that actually came to mind today because I was like, well, you're looking at, so that's why I mentioned I'm a number 7 of 9 kids. So I think, I'm thinking dynamically
oh,
the number
yeah.
7. And then I was like, okay, social security number. I didn't add it up, but I was thinking about when I was getting ready for the show. I'm like
Yeah.
thinking about all the numbers, like your telephone number, your zip code, your area code, your, even though it's your location where you're at, I think that makes a difference. Even your home address, like what your home address is, what it reduces to, what's the type of dynamic that property is going to be for you.
Yeah, right. And how you can relate to it. Because I live in a mobile home park
Mm-hmm.
and it's a senior park. And
Mm-hmm.
so the address is 5, which is kind of transient. It can be, people come and go.
Yeah.
My house is a 7. The minute I moved into my house, I started working, just finally coming out of the closet and being an advisor, psychic advisor. And it's been wonderful ever since.
So my social security number reduces down to an 8. So 26-8.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So that's interesting that how my brain was already going into, what about my social security number? Because
Yeah,
that's a number automatically given to you at birth,
right. So
you know?
my number, my name is 11, social security 11, birthday 11.
Nice.
So
Wow. That's incredible to see all those
yeah,
numbers line up together like that.
I know it's pretty neat.
Why you were meant to have that number, you know? I like
Yeah,
that. I like that. That's really cool. Maru's social number, it's a 5, but you were an 8, right, Maru? So her life path is an 8, but her social security number is a 5.
you know what I think about that? I think that you'd be comfortable traveling because social security numbers click into your passport number and
Mm-hmm.
all that stuff. So I'm thinking passport. And so if you ever had the desire to go out of the country, especially now, probably, but no, I mean traveling for fun, that might have influenced it or
Yeah.
helped you out if you wanted to do it that way.
I love that. And then Krista is a 24-6, her social security number. Oops, here we go. And then Miss Tara D is also a 9 with social security number and life path.
Isn't that a
So
trip?
yeah,
That's such a trip.
yeah, mine's a 9 and then an 8. Oh no, she's back to an 11 again.
What's that? Is that bad?
Well, she was an 11 first. Is that where you guys were, 11? Because you talked about how she was so hard on herself. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
Star the
yeah.
Wild Witch, and then her social security number
Welcome
adds
to
up.
my
And her
world.
real
Well,
name, her name adds up to an 11 as well.
yeah, and that's it. So your name at birth is the one that's really sticky. That's the one that Yeah, I really.
Oh, Star. I love you.
What happened?
I know. I mean, just because the 11 is so tough, she thinks it's so tough for herself.
Well,
But
once you realize, when you read up on yourself,
yeah.
you'll start forgiving yourself for being such a horrible person and not doing things right. I mean, you can walk away from a party and saying, "I shouldn't have said that. I should have said that." I hope that stops when you realize you were born. You were born to have a tendency to do that, and not everyone does that.
Yeah.
She
Oh,
says, "You yuck." Oh, I'm sorry that you don't like it because I kind of like it.
stop it, Star. Don't say that.
But no, no, no. I hear you. I hear
Yeah.
you. The last day of that is today. Just go on and
Yes.
go on to Google and say, what does a life path 11 mean in numerology? And and just go down that rabbit hole. Just start
Mm-hmm.
understanding that you're not alone. You're not broken. It really
No.
will help.
Yeah. Or grab
That's
the
your
book as
homework.
well. Oh,
Yeah.
Marissa. Hi, Marissa. She is out in Sweden and she is, let's see, it is 9 o'clock your time, almost 10 o'clock your time.
Oh, wow. You know your
Thank you for
time.
being here, Marissa. Just watching quietly for comfort. Oh, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah, she's out in Sweden. Hi, Gerald.
We've been talking about you. I know you were
Yeah,
having
we have been. So your ears probably buzzing. And Denise says she's a 33 and a 8 life path, or threes, Social
three.
Security, and 8 life path.
Cool. Creative. You are on the right. Okay. So you know what that means. 8 life path is prosperity, and the 3 is creativity. So and that's exactly what you're doing. Spiritual work.
I love that.
I
And
wonder
Denise
what
said it is 444. That is correct. It is 444 my time.
So when you see numbers like that, you just add them up and say, what spirit is saying is be happy, is the 444,
Hmm.
eight, yeah, it's 12.
Yeah.
So it reduced it to 3. So the 1, 2, and 3 energy is so remarkable. It's like independence, togetherness, and creativity. It's a wonderful
Yeah.
moment.
I love that. And then Marissa says almost 11 p.m. her time.
Oh, 11s are
Thank you for
haunting.
being here. Yeah. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
I just
24/6.
finished a call. So you're coming in late. Thank you, Gerald.
Appreciate it coming back.
Yeah. Thank you. So, Gerald, we were talking about your social security number and then adding up that number to see how it corresponds with your life path number. So mine is an 8.
And it's just a folly, just
Yeah.
this
Just,
stuff is just
yeah,
folly. Fun to talk about.
just for
Nothing that's
fun,
going to make a
guys.
difference.
Yeah. Or look at your address and see what the area, what the energy of your property is or where you're living, and
It's just folly.
just for fun. Yeah, just for fun, guys. Well, this has been absolutely exciting and such a pleasure, Deborah.
I
We're almost
really
going
did.
on 2 hours here.
I love it so
Me
much. This
too.
is
Me
my
too.
happy place. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you so much for the giveaway, giving away those 3 books.
Sure.
Um, please make sure you email Deborah and put in there yay or I won or anything like that. And make sure you add your address as well.
Yeah,
Marissa said her social security number comes out to a 5.
that's travel.
Yeah.
Travel, travel.
Yeah. And she does. Because she's from Australia, but she's in Sweden now.
Yeah, comfortable with that.
Yeah.
What's your life path number?
What's your what's your life path number, Marissa? So we can see that. If you don't mind sharing that, what your number is in the chat, please. Yeah, congratulations, Heather, for winning the book.
Yeah, I'll mail it today, and it should be. This is Monday, right? Yeah, it should be there by Friday, I would think.
No, today's Sunday.
Sunday. Oh, then for sure. Oh, I can't get. Oh my
No.
gosh, I can't go to the. I'm losing track. So
Yeah.
I'll go to first thing in the morning.
So Marissa, you find out by adding your full birth date together to come out and see what the two numbers are that it adds up to, and then what it reduces to.
Thank you,
So
Denise.
just add all those numbers together. But before it reduces completely down to a single digit, also put in what the previous two numbers are. Oh, you're welcome, Marissa.
Oh. If you
I
just
think
want to
she's
put your
probably,
birthday in the chat, then I can add it up for you. She might be too busy. She was being quiet.
she was, because it's 11 o'clock her time, so her partner's probably
Probably
sleeping.
asleep. She says she's mathing it now.
Okay, perfect.
So people sometimes when I am here, when I'm on, people hear bells, chimes.
Yes.
And it's not my birds. I don't know where it's coming from. I think it's fun to think about. A little angel or something coming through, because I removed all the bells from my birds because I was afraid of heavy metals influencing their health. So if you're hearing bells or chimes, some people hear it, some people don't. Oh, 42.6. Oh, wow. So
and their social is a 5.
Having the 2 closest to the 6 would make you a less, what's a good word for that? Less of a bully. I'm sorry, because it was the 24.6 has trouble with structure, and I'm always right and you're not. Because but the 2.6 would have more compassion and understanding and listening kind of thing. But 6 is an awesome number. God, get things done. So anybody just go on to Google and say, what does this life path blank mean in numerology, and have at it. Oh, thank you for promising the review. I really appreciate it. If you didn't buy the book there, you don't have to buy the book from Amazon to leave
to do a review.
Yeah. Do you have neighbor? No, I checked it all out because it would stump Linda G big time. So I looked, couldn't find it. So it's just special people can hear it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I think we can all hear it. I thought you had like a wind chime outside your window or something.
Oh, it's a mystery.
Wow.
I thought it was tinnitus. Maybe
I thought it was tinnitus. Roman.
Gerald and you were able to hear it.
Yeah, that's so funny. Okay, guys, thank you all so very much for being here. I appreciate everyone for the wonderful chat that you guys all had in there and asking questions. And make sure you do all the clicky things like Gerald says. Make sure you like, subscribe, leave a comment right after the live ends. So that you can, because that also helps the algorithm. I know we're all here about the algorithm, which is also made up of numbers. The technology. But definitely do all of those wonderful things for Debra's channel, my channel, because we are simulcasting on both channels.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. This has been wonderful.
Yeah. Thank you so much again for the giveaways. And we will see you all on the next live, guys, everybody. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Bye.
Bye.